All set. Okay, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's CBA hearing, CBA meeting for Town of Reading. We can go ahead and get started at 7 o'clock. So one item that we will probably start with, just because we can address it very, very quickly. We'll start with case number 26.0490 Carver Road. This item is actually, we received a relatively late notice and a request for a continuance to be put on the next month's agenda. I would say it's a family situation that is leading to that request. Is there a motion to transfer extension? Whatever request for it. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of continuing case number 26.0490 Carver Road until the June 1st date? In favor? Looks unanimous. Good. All righty. Moving on to our next agenda item this evening, we have case number 26.05 51 Forest Street. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing in the conference meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on Monday, May 11th, 2026, at 7 p.m. on the application of P. Catalano Construction, LLC, on behalf of the homeowner, pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 10, for variance under Reading zoning bylaw sections 4.5.2, 6.3, and 7.4, as may be determined by the zoning board, to construct a new two-car garage, which creates a new non-conforming side yard setback on the property located at 51 Forest Street. It says there's map 39, lot 168 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there is an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified as for the following: the select board, town clerk, police department, fire department, building department, conservation commission, health department, assessor's office, engineering division, CPDC, members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, Linfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wellington. Testimony given before this board is taken under oath, so if you think you may wish to speak on this matter, please stand and raise your right hand. And your right hand. Good. So I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The response is I do. I do. Wonderful. If you can do me a favor, please state your name and address for the record.
Absolutely. Members of the board, my name is Richard Oddie. I am the owner at 51 Forest Street in Reading, Massachusetts. I come to you today for case 2605, and I ask for a variance on constructing a two-car garage on the western side of my property. The reason that I ask for this variance is that the property size is already a non-conforming lot. It's 13,052 square feet. Instead of the required 15,000 for new lot guidelines. And it is simply not physically possible to respect the letter of the law with construction of the new garage, and therefore I ask for, instead of a 15-foot setback for the attached property, I ask for a 9.9 foot setback, a variance of 5.15.
I apologize, I actually do not have a copy of the exhibit itself. But if you could actually do me a favor there, whenever people are requesting a variance as part of the application, there are 4 set criteria that the application will actually generally, can you take us through as to how this particular project fits within that, each of those?
Yes, I absolutely can. So this is the first of these is the dimensional deficiencies of the property. As previously specified, the property is not of a conforming width by frontage and is not of a conforming size by square footage. The structure will be attached. And I'm sorry. Or are you?
So I have, no problem at all, no problem at all. I can actually pull-
If you just look at your petition itself, there were basically 4 questions that you filled out. Those were the 4 criteria.
All right.
The tapered shape of the lot that you.
Under variance
That's the one we're
criteria.
talking about first.
It's like the 3rd page.
Thank you. Yeah, so it is a pre-existing non-conforming lot sufficiently deficient in total area, lot width.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Over that, then the enforcement of 15-foot yard setback would involve substantial hardship as the land's dimensional deficiencies in the existing house placement leaves no conforming building envelope for a standard residential structure. Unique geometry of the lot renders the proposed left side location the only viable location for any addition, making compliance with the current 15-foot setbacks physically impossible while maintaining functional use of the land. Desirable relief can be granted without the detriment to public good. The proposed 9.9 foot setback is nearly double the 5-foot buffer required for a detached property under section 5.512 of the Reading bylaws. In addition, the property maintains total lot coverage of only 15.4%, which is well below the 25% maximum required or allowed, ensuring the structure does not overcrowd the lot or negatively impact the surrounding neighbors. And the relief does not nullify the intent of the zoning ordinance as it honors the spirit of residential buffers while accommodating unique land constraints. I approach this project with respect to the town standards and commitment to being good neighbors on Forest Street, ensuring the structure remains positive and respectful.
Do any members of the board have any questions?
I just have a question about your survey.
Mhm.
There's sort of a chart on it that lists the different dimensions existing and proposed.
Of course.
According to this, the minimum front yard setback says existing 9.4 and proposed 48.3. I just didn't understand that.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that either. I spoke with the surveyor who set up that plot plan. I believe that was simply in error.
Okay, so nothing is changing about the front.
No, nothing at all is changing about the front of the house.
Okay.
I also have some packets here with images of the property if you want to more carefully visualize the space.
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
What is the setback to the rear of the, where the lot line kind of flips up?
I don't believe that was measured.
Good.
I had to make like
If it's more
a
than
guesstimate?
9.9.
Yeah, it's gonna be more than that.
I don't know if it was actually 15.
Is that much, just eyeballing it?
Probably not, probably closer to like 12 or 13, I guess.
Pretty close. Have you thought about, because obviously, I mean, the 15-foot side yard setback, we're approaching that 5 feet now. Did you consider shortening that so you still met the 15-foot side yard setback? Where it's like, rather than having a 24-foot wide garage, shrink it down to 19, give it change?
I did consider that, a 24-foot, two-car garage seemed fairly standard, and I would, even if I shrunk it down to being a smaller two-car garage, that would be a 20-foot wide, and I would still end up requesting a variance. So I wanted to request a variance for a garage that would be the best possible fit for me.
Did you consider swinging it around so the garage is actually on the back? Kind of where the bike is now.
I did consider doing that, but there would be it would be significantly more difficult project because I have a sprinkler system installed in the back. That would be required to be uprooted, and this existing construction is it would be probably the least disruptive to my property. It's the most level space that I have available to me. It meets very nicely to the driveway, which I would otherwise have to pave further into the property. And as you stated, like if I moved it to where the deck is right now, I would need to get the deck out.
I guess another question. So you mentioned how there's a bylaw saying that a detached garage. And I can double check as well the bylaw as well to see if it states that, but stating that a detached garage, 5 feet yard setback, is
Yes,
that something that you've considered in the past doing?
I have, and unfortunately, the problem with that was that a detached garage needs to sit 10 feet away from the property. So I was still ending up playing with 15 feet.
What does it say? I see you mentioned in your application it was 5 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet from the house, 5 feet from the property.
Oh, 5 feet from the, okay.
Yeah, it can be within the setback.
So it would be
Another 10 feet from the corner of his house.
Yeah.
Right, so that just.
Probably have to kick back in to see how the land goes back in. Go to the back.
Yeah.
Did you address or talk about this case with your abutting neighbor? Because
I did.
you did.
Yes.
Do you have a letter from them in approval of this?
Unfortunately, I don't have a letter from them. I only spoke to Sheila briefly. And verbally we exchanged. She wanted to ask about any questions. I have text messages between us that are like, hey, can we talk? But like that was about it. And she was totally fine with what I was doing and was not concerned about it at all. Her only concern was to make sure that whatever was done and by the running zone.
Her driveway's on your side also.
Correct.
Yeah, that's one thing I was gonna mention, just because I did look at this case prior to this meeting and noticed that your two driveways are right next to each other, so I just didn't know.
I will say
There'll be
there
approaches.
is, no, I feel pretty strongly that I'm not. I can show you, here's a photograph of the lot property. I think the relevant pictures are this one and this one.
Yeah.
The garage that I'm proposing would not exceed this white fence that is already there. And is already not encroaching property whatsoever. Please, by all means, take the whole packet. And if anyone else would like a packet with the images, I'm happy to provide.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You willing to revise the size of your windows on that side there if you're that close to the property line? People living them smaller.
Sure. Or even move the windows if that is the request of the board. Yeah, exactly. I have no problem with that.
Thank you. Does the board have any other questions? We can open it up to the public. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this property? Not seeing anyone. We will close public comments on this particular matter. My only concern is obviously variances are supposed to be difficult to achieve in the town. So ultimately, it's a circumstance where the actual bylaw itself says no variance shall be issued pursuant to 4512 unless the zoning board finds each of those four particular criteria. I think I am struggling with the unique circumstances of the land. And I'm struggling with whether or not it may involve a substantial hardship at this point. Those are my two concerns, because ultimately it's a circumstance where if we grant a variance, ultimately that changes the property in perpetuity.
Sure.
So that is set the precedent for any other neighbor, for any other reason.
Yeah.
So those are the circumstances where we have to pay very close attention to the intent of the bylaws themselves and make sure that each of those particular criteria are met. I would ask actually, I don't know if any of the other board members have any other opinions one way or the other.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, if you're gonna say something, leave. Rather hear it first.
No. I was just gonna say that we have generally been very conservative about granting variances. For exactly the reason why it's supposed to be hard to get variance. I actually do think that this is one of the best cases I've ever seen. Just in terms of the uniqueness of the lot as compared to the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna speak on a lot, because if he moves, let's say he comes back and the way that the lot line angles both ways, towards the back and towards the front. Even if he would move it back, I think he'd still run, that's why I wish I knew what that measurement was from the back of the garage to this. Because if you moved it back, I think you'd still have a problem going back. Probably have to shift it into the back of the house.
Unfortunately, I don't have that measurement, but I'm inclined to believe they.
If you moved it back, I think the board would have been much more comfortable if they saw it back more and you had maybe a 2 foot. I mean, I'm not a big advocate of neighbors writing letters, because if they move out, the next person has to deal with the issue, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I do see, would that be a hardship, that lot line? Chris? Being unique?
I mean, even if it were moved all the way back on the same plane, some portion of it would still be
It still needs to.
violating the side setback, either the front of it or the back of it, depending on how far you moved it, something would be. 24 is the preferred, what is the absolute smallest you can get?
20 feet.
20. Gets them closer to it.
Is there a reason it needs to be a 2-car? I mean, I guess you didn't specify if there's, other cars or other vehicles parked, right? Yeah.
So it is, of course, for my car, and then reason why I chose to start the home in Reading is though I don't have a spouse and I don't have a second car, I do plan to have both of those things. And so I would like for my property to be in a space where I could welcome a family and a spouse in Reading, especially with my position as I am on Forest Street, so close to the schools. I would really like to have my place on Forest Street to be a place where I can raise my family.
Right now, your driveway's wide enough for two cars, right?
That's correct. I don't believe that the dimensions of the garage extend past what the driveway currently is.
And obviously wouldn't be practical for the same reasons, if there's substantial hardship, because you're gonna still have to have some grass and sprinkler system. In my opinion, you got definitely shape and topography is huge. And substantial hardships, it's like you get there, and sprinkler system at least. Detriment to the public good. I don't hear any neighbors here complaining. One would think that if they were aggravated, they would be here. I don't know if we can condition any rules on the letter, but I don't think that we necessarily can, but again, they're not here.
How long has was the sprinkler system something that was on the property when you purchased, or was that?
Correct. It's been there for greater than 5 years. Because the previous owners also had it. It was purchased by the Zoyas when they owned the property, which was before the previous owners who bought it in 2020, I believe.
Is that manifold located, would it be inside the garage?
Excuse me.
Usually next to the water spigot or something.
Oh, for like the valve control?
Yeah.
That is out front on the eastern, so
So the garage.
as it stands, the garage would. At most, maybe if my water and sewage goes out underneath my driveway, that is the only concern that the builder has indicated to me. That's it.
You've been a very fair board. It's up to you how you feel about the board. You can come back, tweak some things. You've heard all our comments.
Yeah, no, I'm a little torn.
We would like to get rid of
Yeah,
the garage, but it would have been better if you had 4 kids right now.
Yeah.
I'll get on that.
Yeah,
It's not-
that's the problem, your hardship is somewhat speculative right now.
That's fair.
Bring like an engagement ring.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
I would go back and tweak this and put some more measurements in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So one of the things that we certainly recommend, that we generally recommend is circumstance where if we were to move forward today and if we were not to grant the variance at that point in time, it's 2 years before you would be able to seek a similar variance. So with these types of circumstances, we usually give folks the opportunity to request continuance just to try and see if there's different ways that you could potentially tweak or get any other additional support if necessary.
Okay.
So those are the things that I think would be very beneficial for the board to hear as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, I certainly leave it up to you if you'd like to try and move forward just based upon some of the issues, or if you'd like to ask for that continuance. I think the board would certainly be in favor of granting the continuance that.
Yeah, so I can either request a vote now, in which case I might be told no, or I can request a continuance and bring back some more supporting evidence based on the comments here.
Yeah.
And see how that shakes things
I
out.
think you may have gotten a little bit of the gist of where we would likely to fall if we were to take a vote now.
Understood.
And you need,
4 or 5.
you would need 4 out of 5, so,
Understood.
I think having the cost of the sprinkler system and that kind of stuff, like numbers in front of people. be helpful. I think
Cost
you're
of the
mostly
spring.
there with me.
Sure.
Just even without it, because it can eyeball the cost of that. I don't think I'll knock you for not having a spouse already, I think.
We're not.
I think I treat anyone similarly situated, you know, and this, like, we kind of talked about, kind of runs with the land and. And guys supported that as well. If you wouldn't mind cleaning up this last section though, the how desirable relief may be granted without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw, if you're gonna go back and do it already. That as it honors the spirit of residential buffers, I don't know where you're going with that. I guess just a little more, but I think I get where you're saying.
Yeah, I think there's circumstance, obviously, you definitely bring up the difference between the detached versus the attached aspects of it. The thing about it is that there's a reason that the town does kind of keep those separate as
Oh,
well.
of course.
So what you can do is ask for this to be continued to, do you want our next meeting, which is June 1st?
I didn't know letter from your neighbor.
Yeah, in light of the comments from the board, I'd like to request to continue.
Board wish to, anybody wish to?
Want to accept the continuance until,
You guys want to decide on who's gonna vote in this case.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll vote in this case, yeah.
move to accept the continuance until, did you say the June meeting?
What, June 1st, that time, because that's 3 weeks away. However, the makeup of the board is change after June, so
Yes.
after June.
June 1st should be fine.
Okay. Second.
Okay, all in favor of continuing this matter till June 1st?
Aye.
That is unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, next item. This evening is case number 26-06 and Landry Way. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing in the conference meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on May 11th, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the application of Edward DeSimone. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 9, for a special permit under Reading zoning bylaws, Section 7.0, 7.3, and 7.3.2 to demolish an existing non-conforming single-story garage and construct a new two-story garage with a habitable living space above that extends the non-conforming side yard setback on the property located at 30 Langton Way, assessors map 20, lot 57 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there is an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified as were the following: the select board, town clerk, police department, fire department, building department, conservation commission, health department, assessor's office, engineering division, CPDC members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as planning boards of Whitfield, Benfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. Testimony, so if you think you may wish to speak on this matter, please stand and raise your right hand. Go ahead. Can you please raise your right hand? I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And the responses I do. Come on up. Give your name and address for the
Sure. Edward DeSimone, homeowner at 10 Layton Way.
Do you smoke? Can go ahead.
Sure. I've submitted a request for a special permit to extend the existing non-conforming garage structure that's on my property. This is part of a larger scale renovation that we're contemplating. One thing I don't have is nice pictures for everything, but what I do bring is a wife and kids, so hopefully that. But no, my wife and I, we moved to Reading a couple years ago and fell in love with it. I grew up in Malden, so this is putting it nicely. It's an upgrade. And she was in Andover, but we fall in love with the property, which is an old colonial, built in 1929. We have a 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old.
And as they grow and get older, our house is getting smaller. The real crux of this entire renovation is we only have one full bathroom, one very, I won't call it small, but it's getting to be a small kitchen and small house overall. And so I work from home. My wife technically works from home as well. Our kids are often in the house. My Mia is in Montessori school, but she's only in there 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. And then Bo, my son, who's 1 year old, again, he'll be going to the Montessori school next year as well. So the request for the special permit is part of a larger scale renovation that we're trying to move forward with, which theoretically we should be able to do by right, which is to extend our kitchen, be able to expand above and create 2 full bathrooms, which is what we need. And then not egregiously, but also we have a dilapidated porch, a sun porch off the side, it's screened in. We're gonna take that down, just rebuild it to be more of a 4-season extension of our home. We contemplated going larger over there, but when I did the site survey, we were getting pretty close and I did not want to be here for a variance, even though my neighbor actually charged. Because I did, I went to both of my neighbors on both sides of me just to inform them. They were going to get notified. One is Frank Rizza, he's at 17 Longview, and then Aaron and Corey Sinclair are my immediate neighbors that are actually impacted directly by this special permit request. Immediately full support garnered by all of them. No, I do not have a letter. I think it'd be pretty easy to obtain, as Frank kind of pointed to. The weight of a letter is only as good as the homeowner that's currently in there. So let's get to the actual request. So I have a two-car garage that's currently there. It is wildly dilapidated, needs to really come down regardless. If anything, it's a sorry excuse of a storage unit, putting it nicely. I think that, again, I'd love to be able to preserve it. The doors are awesome, the way they open and whatnot, but it's just not functional and it's actually a pretty significant safety hazard. I can't get my vehicle in there, let alone my wife's vehicle. I forced it barely this past winter. So it's not conducive to being able to operate in that capacity. Ideally, we'd be able to get both vehicles in there. Having 2 kids, the way our driveway is sloped, in the winter time, it does lend itself to a lot of ice and just a lot of moisture collectively. So this special permit request, again, our garage is currently sitting within the setback currently, about 10 feet off the current setback. So it's already non-conforming. My ask, and the ask I'm buying on behalf of my family, is to extend it out about 3.5 feet approximately towards Aaron and Corey Sinclair's property, and then also be able to pull it forward 9.5 feet. Now, the reason for that is numerous, right? One, we do have a second story technically, but it's not even a storage unit. You can almost barely access it. But if we go about this 2 different ways, if we extend it forward roughly 9.5 feet, we're merely extending the existing non-conforming aspect that is already off that side setback. We're still well within the setback off the road frontage. So really no material impact at all from that standpoint. The reason or why, one, I drive a pretty large truck. So if I am going to get in and out of this garage, I need to be able to get in and out collectively. My truck won't fit currently. I'm the one that does drive them to school, pick them up, specifically my kids. I'm not saying I can't get out and ice and snow and everything else. I'm not here to sit here and sugarcoat it and tell you that our life is miserable because we can't get in. But obviously there's definitely a convenience aspect when it's boring out and anything else. That's why you have a garage in the first place. But that's where the second aspect of this comes in. Obviously, we're asking to extend roughly 3.5 feet approximately towards the neighboring property line, still within the setback, obviously, but already within a previously approved non-conforming aspect of that setback. Why I'm here, there's a couple different reasons. For me, time is the essence. I have been working with an architect on this. Obviously, wildly beneficial, well recommended within the Reading neighborhood area. And quite honestly, I didn't realize time was of the essence this much, but that's why I'm here. Ideally, let's assume this moves forward successfully. I get an approval on this. I go through an appeal period. my goal, and I'm lined up to move as quick as feasible on this. And part of the reason for that is numerous. One, if my kids are not in school for the June, July, August period, I have a really good opportunity to tackle both the kitchen, without the kitchen, and specifically that second bathroom, which we won't have one full bathroom for a pretty good period of time. So we're gonna have roughly, it's gonna be a sprint, but it'll be a 3-month period while they're not in school to get in there. The other thing that is kind of really integral is this lot really, it's already a unique non-conforming lot currently. One of the things that is going to allow this to move is obviously this garage. It's got to get taken down regardless. We have to get to the back of the house. Honestly, the only reasonable and viable access is actually going to be going through that garage. Let's assume we immediately demolish the garage. Now we've got access to the back in a much easier, more efficient and cost-effective manner. Any delay would produce a pretty significant hardship, right? I could move forward with, again, the crux of this entire renovation, which again is second bathroom and an extended kitchen, right? That if I had to prioritize, right, that's really the main crux of this. Being able to close in and get existing footage out of a porch, again, by right, yes, not a massive priority, but overall, if we're already in there, we want to be moving efficiently and whatnot. The garage is the other one that I would say is number 2 to me. It's important. Like I said, we want it to be functional, but it's going to be twofold, right? If we get the opportunity to extend and both forward and out, right, then we actually get the appropriate use of what the garage is merely intended for, was be able to park in there, get access accordingly, get a safe space to actually walk in. Right now, we currently just walk right into our kitchen, and it's a mess because you're tracking in pine needles and everything else. So allowing for this specific expansion enables us to actually get a mudroom into. It's not integral overall, but it is really important. I will tell you that we've worked endlessly with this architect to try and go through every single alternative. We do have a lot of different alternatives, but this to us is the most optimal to be able to, achieve everything that we want to achieve, right? In one fell swoop. With that said, I'm going to be open and transparent. This isn't end all be all. Meaning, are there alternatives? Yeah, absolutely. I'm willing to sit here and discuss back and forth what's viable, what's not viable.
So actually, let me go ahead and stop you. So as you mentioned, the one thing that you did notice that you did specify was the difference of standards that we're looking at here, specifically between someone seeking a special permit versus that variance. The variance is obviously very difficult to obtain. Special permits, the standard is basically, we only ask that you are responsible for convincing this board that the proposed use is less detrimental to the surrounding neighborhood, neighbors and
Not
neighborhood.
more detrimental.
Not more detrimental.
Not
Yes,
more
I'm sorry.
detrimental than it
That is,
currently is.
so not more detrimental than it currently is.
Sure.
So that's the one, and I think based on just the information that we've received, I am pretty comfortable, just
Yeah.
moving forward. I didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to let us know. I didn't know if.
No,
the board had any other
I'd be
questions.
lying if I said that I felt like this is
Yeah.
really black and white. This isn't an overly egregious ask from our behalf. And I can't tell you how appreciative I'd be, obviously, to have your support in that. But it really is about as simple. I know there's a lot going on here, but if you focus on just the garage and the fact that it's already non-conforming, the only one that really should have a viable input would be our neighbors at 4 Langdon, and to have their full support without even a question was really comforting from my standpoint. But obviously, it's your decision at the end of the day as well.
Does the board have any other questions?
I actually know the house. I tried to buy it, I think back. And I give you credit, because the sunroom's beautiful, but it needed a ton of work.
Yeah.
And the garage is sketchy.
We want to, I mean, my wife loves the sunroom, but but it's just so dilapidated, so, you know.
And I love the inside. It does fit with the neighborhood.
It was going to be big. My wife was keen on having rough, like old bones. We don't like new construction, but she's also an interior designer. She owns her interior design business, so I struggle. I don't say I struggle, but I do it.
That saying, they don't build them like they used to.
Right.
Thank God they don't.
But we did, like, for what it's worth, it's outside the scope. That's just where we went through so many renditions with the architect. That dormer design, we didn't want it to look like an addition. This really is a really unique colonial, that was the 1920s colonial. We're trying to preserve as much of this without making it look like an addition, if you will. Like I said, we want it not to be so modern and preserve that historic nature.
Plus you have to keep up with the castle next door to you.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I didn't know. Is there anyone here from the public who wishes to speak on this property? Not hearing anything, we can close public comment. Does the board have anything in position? No. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion?
I will move to grant the petitioner Edward DeSimoni's special permit under section
7.0.
7.0, 7.3, and 7.3.2. As shown on application number 2606 for 10 Langton Way. Special permit is subject to the following conditions. Petitioner shall submit to the building inspector a certified plot plan of the proposed construction and proposed foundation plans prior to the issuance of a foundation permit for work. 2, the petitioner's final construction plans for the new structure shall be submitted to the building inspector along with the as-built foundation plans prior to the issuance of a building permit. 3, as-built permit showing completed construction shall be submitted to the building inspector after the work is completed and prior to the issuance of the documents.
Second.
Thank you. And all in favor? We have, Taylor, you're on this one?
Yep.
Thank you. And so that is unanimous. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I think Amanda may be able to take you through any sort of logistical.
Yes, so we have 2 weeks to draft proposed decision, we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
Sure.
The day that it's the town clerk, that's when the period starts. Normally then I'll upload a copy of it into your application and I'll let you know when to pick it up with the clerk.
Sure.
The certified decision. And then you take it to the registry, register it there and bring the building back.
Do I have the ability to start moving on the building permit simultaneously, just so I'm not delayed what it was? I'm happy to take that offline if it's.
I think it's probably best to contact them in the morning and have that
Sure.
conversation,
Yep.
because I don't know their entire process.
I'm gonna be amenable to anything, obviously, with time being of the essence, I'd love to be able to at least be starting in advance in the process,
Yeah.
if it was an option, so.
And so definitely contact them during like their counter hours and so with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Good
much,
luck.
appreciate it, wife and kids works great.
Good luck. Good luck on construction 210.
Thank you, you had a really good opportunity to maybe save me some time and money, but now I gotta go tell my wife. Thank you again, have a good night.
Take care. Alrighty. Next up, we're calling case number 26-07, 11 Morgan Park. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing in the conference meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on Monday, May 11th at 7 p.m. on the application of Elizabeth Ralston. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing.
You actually pronounced it right. No one ever does, so thank you.
Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 9, for a special permit under Reading zoning bylaw, Section 6.3, 7.0, 7.3, and 7.3.2, to remove the existing porch and construct a new porch located on an existing structure with non-conforming side yard setback on the property located at 11 Morgan Park, Assessors Map 20, Lot 50 in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there is an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified as for the following. The select board, town clerk, police department, fire department, building department, conservation commission, health department, assessor's office, engineering division, CPDC, members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, Enfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. Testimony given before this board is taken under oath, so if you'd like to speak, would ask you please stand and raise your right hand. I swear that the testimony given by me before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The response is I did. Thank you. Come on forward. And so this is a application for a special permit. So obviously you have the difference in standards that we explained with the last applicant.
Yes.
So why don't you give us an idea of just what the project entails and.
All right, so my name's Elizabeth Deborah Alston, and I did bring my husband. I did not bring our children. So we currently have an existing. No, it's fine. We have an existing non-conforming porch and stairs that give us entry into the main door that we use. And this special permit is actually part of a bigger project in that we are looking to add on a family room to the back of the house where the existing porch is. So when we do that, we'll actually be bringing the property more conforming, except we still need that porch and stairs to get into our main point of entry into the house. So with that, we would be constructing a new porch within the side setback. We have been in touch with our neighbors. We did send an email that we can provide that they are fine with moving forward with it.
And obviously the standard, obviously we look for is that the proposed project is, what's the exact wording, not less or not.
Not more detrimental.
Not more detrimental. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So in keeping with that measurements, it would be not more detrimental.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yes.
Any of you members of the board have any questions?
And it's basically the same set of stairs, just different.
It's just shifting it down further, plan south.
Mhm.
Was there what, I believe there's a white fence there too.
Yes, the neighbors have a white fence there. Yeah, and the school's on the other side.
We will open this up for any public comment. I do not see anyone present. Would you like to speak?
You want-
Please. Okay, we can close public comment. Does the board have any questions? And as who would like to take this? Would anybody like to make a motion? Okay. Yes, Frank, I wonder if Frank's made a motion yet.
Frank made a motion.
Yeah, Frank's trying.
With the grant, that's a long one.
Move to grant the petitioner a special permit under Reading zoning bylaw, section 6.3, 7.0, 7.3 and 7.32 to remove the existing porch, construct a new porch located on the existing structure with a non-conforming side yard setback on the property located at 11 Ward Park in Reading, Massachusetts. Special permit subject to the following conditions. Petitioner shall submit the building inspector to the building inspector a certified plot plan of the proposed construction and proposed foundation plans prior to the issuance of foundation permit for the work. Petitioner's final construction plans for the new structure shall be submitted to the building inspector along with the as-built foundation plans prior to the issuance of the permit. As-built plans showing the completed construction shall be submitted to the building inspector immediately after the work is completed prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
All in favor of granting special permit?
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations.
Well, we do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a good one with you.
Yes, you too. It's been like what I told the other gentleman since you two. Burned that would 28 days. start.
Oh.
The contact with the.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
By the kids from here.
Yeah.
They came in handy every once in a while.
Yeah, no deal, huh?
Thank you. The only thing we have left are our
You can just
minutes.
reference that plan too, I couldn't find a date.
Oh, yes, so that is,
Yeah, the plot plan dated March first, Reading Land Surveyors LLC.
Well, we just.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the one.
alright,
is this the plot plan that was submitted with the application?
yeah, okay, so Reading Land Surveyors, okay. March first,
Yeah.
2026.
And that on the record as well, just referencing the plot plan for this particular special permit. Now we can move on to.
Wait, are we sure? Cause I feel like that one's 10 lanes, like,
No, it's 11 Morgan Park, I'm looking at it.
was it? Okay,
Yeah.
alright, yeah.
I mean, it might also have been 10, you know what, 10 Layton Lane was the same surveyor. Yeah.
That's fine,
Look at exactly this.
alright, thank you.
Now move on to minutes from April 6th.
Yeah, I wasn't here. Neither was I.
I wasn't here either.
You're in spirit. No, I just forgot to move you guys down and I realized I had all the others present in the member
Right.
docs, so I didn't shoot that.
Okay, that's fine. So before we here.
There is a motion to approve.
Did we approve if we not went there?
You can, the minutes, right? I mean,
Yeah, I did, I watched the video.
Say both. Okay, but since you signed them all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried something, yeah.
video, then that should be fine.
Okay.
But that's good. And is there a second? All in favor to approve minutes from Forsyth?
Well, I guess if we, cause I watched the video already and
No.
Yeah.
All right, so that concludes for the evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Roger.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. So we are adjourned. You're welcome.